How can a leader think of himself correctly, not too highly or too lowly? Welcome to Leader Reach, reaching hearts and minds of leaders who reach leaders. We've talked about matters of being spiritually sustainable as a leader, or grounded as a leader. All of us know in the interior of our spirits that we are completely limited. We are insufficient for all that God places on our hands and plates to do. And therefore, we've got to somehow manage the fact that we are terrifically limited, and yet we've got to make a contribution. This is a good tension by which we should live. It allows us a measure of dependence, of humility, but also that of responsibility that we must take. Earlier, or in other episodes, I've talked about asking God to look through us in self-examination, to lead through us, so that we are the means by which He accomplishes His will, and then to love through us, because love is the greatest of all spiritual leadership characteristics. But none of this would be possible unless He lives through us. That God is living through us in our leadership role, in our discovery, in our implementation, in our execution. It's amazing. When God uses you, you do not feel used. You feel tired, but you do not feel used. That is a perfectly good way to live. To not think of ourselves too highly, but also to not think of ourselves too lowly. I have developed some symbols of leadership to which I have subscribed as primary themes in my life. You too can develop one or two themes. For example, if you came to our offices, you will find globes from all over the world. For example, behind me is a globe bookend, which shows to me the scope of what God has given for me to do. It's the whole globe. It's a very small piece of real estate, but God has allowed us to do planet-scale things. The globe shows scope, and whenever I'm thinking and asking and planning, I'm wondering about how the whole globe can be affected, including through this Leader Reach project, which comes right into your heart, through your desk, and possibly also into your mind. You will also find lots of clocks. Behind me is a beautiful grandfather's clock. It is actually literally a grandfather's clock. My grandfather had it. It was imported from the UK into India and sold in India through a retailer. It still works. It's pretty loud, and so I have it off. You will notice that the clock is set at 5 minutes to 12. I learned that from a friend in Montenegro, who gave me the gift of a clock and set it to 11:55. He said, "Sir, we notice you're an urgent man. It's only 5 minutes to midnight." So I came back to our office and turned all our non-working clocks to 5 minutes to 12. Clocks for me show urgency. But the best way to manage limitation and contribution, the fact that you're precious and strategic and yet powerless, comes from my third symbol. The third symbol of my usefulness as a leader are just pens. I've got a set of pens in front of me. Some are nostalgic, some are inexpensive, some are a bit more expensive. They have different functions. I never use two pens at the same time. But here's a pen. It's a fountain pen. The fountain pen has a nib. The nib has to be very, very clean. Otherwise, it won't write well. It'll blotch all over the paper, and I need to be clean, spiritually clean. I need to be confessed. And having received God's forgiveness, serve as a leader. Yesterday, I changed the ink cartridge on this pen because it depleted fast. Fountain pens deplete faster than ballpoint pens and rollerballs, and I deplete rather fast. The Spirit of God must fill me in order to use me. But the most important part of a pen, really any of these pens in front of me, is that there's no power in the pen. There's no power in the pen unless the author picks it up and uses it. I have no power in myself unless he picks me up and uses me. I'm willing to be used, but I'm powerless to be used. I would like you to consider this very important preposition, through. He will live through you and he will lead through you. Life does not happen by you. Life happens through you. It helps me manage my not thinking of myself too highly or not thinking of myself too lowly, but to walk the path of usefulness while knowing that I'm limited and insufficient unless he makes me adequate for these things. Thank you for watching Leader Reach. Click on the right to watch more videos and click on the left to subscribe to our channel.